done, Ned.
And one last one. Again.
Well done, Seamus. Good man.
Is it still only when you came back and meet the people, what you've lifted people around here and around Ireland?
Yeah, I mean, it's still, this still hasn't sunken in properly, but, you know, seeing so many faces and stuff now, like all day today, I mean, it's definitely getting there, and, you know, sometimes you're so caught up in your own side of it, you kind of forget, but, yeah, it's been a great week, great few days. It was lovely to be able to get home here for the first time in a long time, but all this COVID stuff going on, and, yeah, then just, I mean, just thanks for all the kind words from everyone I've heard here. Yeah. I'm not sure in half it's true, but, you know, it's not, no, it's brilliant to see so many good faces out here. This place has always been as close to a home as something can be, really, and it's, yeah, I mean, just to see all everyone out here today is just fantastic.
You're on a real hot run at present. You've had a great 6 weeks, really in the groove as such, top 20 finishes, 3 top 10 finishes. Last weekend, coming into the final day, did you feel this is the day it's going to happen, or do you take day by day, shot by shot, or what was your feeling on that Sunday morning?
Yeah, it was more of a kind of go day by day thing. It's one of the things I actually I'm practicing at the moment, is sitting down and look at leaderboards and do all that kind of stuff, and it was kind of helping me this summer, so you don't quite know where you stand. It's easier to stay aggressive, but yeah, no, I mean, I honestly, if I'm being honest, there was at no point during the day that I thought I was going to win it. I thought JT was running away with it. You know, I knew when I birdied the last, I thought it was big, because I thought I might get myself second place, which I knew would have locked up my card, and then I get in, he's made a couple of mistakes, and I was able to kind of sneak in there. So, yeah, it was just, you know, it was one of those things I kind of stumbled into there at the end, which is fantastic.
As regards the playoff, was it same? Keep doing the same, Seamus, or did your mindset change? It was 1-on-1, yourself and JT. How did you face into the playoff? Was it, as I say, hole by hole, shot by shot, or how was your feel?
Yeah,
getting that chance.
I mean, we're looking at amateur golf in Ireland. We play a lot of match play growing up, and you kind of going into one of those situations where it didn't really matter about anything else, just was kind of gone between the two of you. So felt I probably had an advantage there. I don't know if I did or not, but it was one of those things that I kind of felt more comfortable than I was expecting, and it was just kind of nice there to get going. I was lucky I had the honour during the playoff just because I'd finished first, so it was one of those things. Just kind of things fell my way there.
Now, as regards when that final putt dropped, can you remember, or is it all still a blur, that feeling, I've done it.
No, I wasn't going to laugh here. I didn't get to tell Justin this the other night, but the first thing I thought of actually was, I knew I had 2 putts to win it. The fact that I actually ran it past the hole at all, he probably would hit me with a club, but that was the first thought I had. Right. No, I mean, at that point it was, yeah, I mean, it was one of those, you're trying not to let your mind kind of drift towards that. Just make sure don't make a mess of it there from 10, 12 feet. But yeah, I mean, there's so much happening so fast, and then, you know, you're trying to shake hands with JT, and all of a sudden there's a camera guy pulling you over this direction. Yeah. It was a bizarre feeling. It was fantastic, but it was very different, but it was incredible moment.
Well, definitely well done in your interview, because in the heat of the moment you got it all in. Didn't forget West Waterford, didn't forget home, didn't forget Ireland, and you never have forgotten Ireland.
No, I certainly hope that it never comes to that day where I forget that. It's one of those things you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you've come from. So, no, absolutely. It's always the first thing when people ask me, who do you want to thank and all that stuff. And as I said during the interview, the list is endless and it includes, almost everyone that's here today. Which is amazing. You learn a lot of things growing up, and in golf, and you see and interact with a lot of golfers from around the world. And I promise you, as Gary said, as a junior, this is the best club you could possibly be a member at. We learn things, from Pat and Justin, even just how to act on the golf course. To be honest, I see things that other guys do, and now if they did it when they were a young member here, they would have been in serious trouble. It's one of those things. I was lucky to become a member here, so it's fantastic.
And of course, the record here, your own record, 3 national titles, junior youth titles. John McHenry is the only other man, but I think you're the second as well. But 3 national titles, as you say, the match play, winning the pennant for the team in the foursome. That really helped you feel it. And match play, probably a lot of other countries don't play as much match play as we do in Ireland. It's hard to beat it as a stroke.
Yeah, absolutely. I was lucky. There was a lot of other good golfers in the clubs. I was kind of exposed to our junior foursome team, but even before we won the All-Ireland, we had a lot of good teams. We played a lot of, at the time, important matches, and so you had a bit of pressure and that kind of stuff. And it's definitely the best way to learn golf. You kind of learn what you're good at, what you're not so good at. But it was very, very. As I said, we were kind of spoiled there.
Seamus, for the last 10 years, you've had ups and you've downs. And in your interview the other night, you said you're 34 years old, you haven't worked a day in your life, which that was a brilliant comment. I said, very like Justin Spratt. But you never lost faith in yourself. That's inner belief. But was it what happened last autumn? And you mentioned about meeting Bob Rotello, and you had that injury, that elbow injury, whatever. But was it more mental was the main thing, getting that belief and keeping that calmness? Because you were putting in great scores on the Friday and Saturday, bump a bit on Saturday, might get into Sunday, but finally in the last 6 weeks you really clicked into the groove and really playing with confidence.
Yeah, I think that's what it is really. You just gotta you start playing with confidence. Even going out, whenever that was last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I played some good rounds right before it and had been in some good spots, so I knew what to expect, how you're going to feel, and you're able to just kind of build that stuff. But no, I think it was just a bit of everything. You kind of, sometimes things click at different times, and this summer it's been definitely the best golf I've played. It's been great.
You always felt that you belonged there.
I did. That was one of the things. I've been asked that over the years. Right? On the mini tours, how many years have you played? And the one thing that I always knew was, if I didn't believe I could do it, I wouldn't have continued to play, to be honest. It's obviously, I'm very lucky to play golf and but winning is still winning, and that's why you play, and that's, that all the other stuff is great, but the winning feeling, knowing that you've beaten everyone in the field that week is what you play for. It's what you love. It's what you love about playing match play when you're younger. It's head to head. There's anything else you're either going to win or you lose, and that's always the feeling you're chasing. And so, that was kind of what I was clinging to there.
Part of the winning, when you realise 2-year exemption, how big a deal is that? Because obviously, 2-year knowing that it was life-changing, but from your point of view, while it was a big prize, a huge prize on the day, the 2-year exemption, how big was that for Seamus Power?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest parts of it, to be honest. It's kind of it's a funny job, obviously. It's different, but this will be the first time I know what I'm doing next year for work, So it's different, changes everything. I know where I can play, instead of kind of waiting around, hoping to get in there. Even one of the things I thought about first was I'll be able to plan on coming home for the Irish Open, something like that, which wasn't able to do this summer. And, so it gives me the ability to do things like that I haven't been able to do for a couple of years. And, it's just, I'm having a bit extra security, not always looking at the FedEx Cup standings and this and that. So it's huge, but it does, for the next 2 years, kind of puts me in a very good spot.
And in East Tennessee, you really settled in well into the US, and you had your 5 wins while you were in college. But at that stage, while you got your degree and you're a qualified accountant, were you always saying golf was your line, or was the accountancy there at any stage saying, geez, I might have to go back to this?
Yeah, I wasn't one of the ones that at 16 I was winning everything. I was going to definitely turn pro. I was kind of, a little bit slower, kind of working my way up. So yeah, I was fully expecting to start at UCC before I had my scholarship to America, and I would have got an accounting degree. And I mean, at that age, the only reason I would have been going to college to get a degree would be to use it. So it was, yeah, I mean, it's obviously it's worked out. But no, I mean, to me, it was always important to get a degree. I mean, you know, who knows? You could, in golf, you break a hand, you break a foot, and you can lose your job very fast. So it's nice to have that in the back pocket.
I remember being at Father Moore and speaking about you, and this man has won 9 Park Hotel Awards. You won the Supreme back in 2005. Hard to believe how long ago that is. But Father Moore now said, not alone are you a good talent, you have a good head and a good temperament to go with. And glad to see Brother Spring here this evening. You played handball, you played racquetball, but golf became your sport. But that mix of belief and indeed coolness and attitude is so important.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, attitude in anything is important, but obviously, you know, it's one of those things that you can control on a golf course. It's one of the things I've kind of worked hard on, especially this year, and yeah, I was able to do it.
The Olympics, it's hard to believe the Olympics were officially open today, and you have great memories. Hard to believe 5 years ago, yourself and Pádraig Harrington represented, and what a performance you had out there. Your bag is still there to prove it, but also the fact that you had Paul McGinley as manager. How big an impact had that few weeks with Harrington, on the team with Harrington and McGinley as your mentor?
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, I was, I'd never met either one of them before, so it was a brilliant week for me. I was trying not to ask them like too many questions and stuff, but no, they're brilliant. Like if you have a question, if I had a question, I could call them up and ask them, and they have no problem sharing advice, what they think of this, what they did, what do they think you should do. They're really nice. I mean, they were both on to me already, like this week, and they were great. Yeah, I learned a lot from Paul that week and Pádraig. I mean, geez, they're just, they're great ambassadors for golf. I love watching Pádraig play golf, and Paul. I mean, they're great. You know, if you wouldn't listen to them, you wouldn't listen to anyone. And they've been very helpful to me.
Obviously, Pádraig is still involved playing, and obviously manager of the Ryder Cup. McGinley on Sky TV. Do you still meet up with him, number one? And is there a sense of the Irish? We're still the Irish. So if Rory or Lowry or whoever, or GMAC, whatever, is there still this camaraderie between you, or is every man for himself?
No, there's definitely. I mean, obviously, if someone has to win, it's not going to be you. You definitely like it to be one of the other Irish guys. I mean, they're great. Yeah, Pádraig and Shane. I mean, and when we're playing same tournaments.
How did they react to your win? Obviously, the Open was on at the time.
Yeah, no, I mean, Shane sent me a funny message. Actually, because he just finished over. Yeah. He was like, yeah, I kept him up too late, but I know what he said. He's a few bottles of Bulmers was keeping him company anyway. So, look, I've known Shane a long time, and we played on Irish or international teams together, and I caddied for Shane and the British boys one year, and he's the nicest fella you can imagine. He hasn't changed, which is amazing for the amount of success he's had, and so it's been brilliant to see. So he's very supportive, very helpful. He'd be watching all along. If you had a tough day or something, he'd be there the days he'd kind of hear from me. He's lovely. Yeah.
You've played in huge events. You've had huge 4 or 5 hard days back to back. Has the last few days in Dungarvan been harder than anything last weekend? You can tell us we're all.
You can probably hear my voice. It's been a long few days. But
how do the Power, your sponsors, how have they reacted to the reception you've got and the welcome?
Yeah, I mean, it's been brilliant. It's a relationship I was very lucky to become a part of. It's just in the name, and they saw it on TV, and they kind of reached out. But yeah, it's been brilliant. Like they said it to me in I think it was November. We were hanging up playing a kind of golf event there, and they said to me, "What would I like to first time I win? What would I like to do?" And then I was like, "Oh, the first thing to do, I'm trying to get home." And they were like, "Done. We're going to make it happen. We're going to make sure we're coming with you." So
brilliant.
It's been
super. Yeah, that was so delightful on Monday morning. Seamus, the future now. You have your 2-year guarantee for the next 2 years, over the next few weeks, and then into next year. For Seamus Power, obviously, the rest of the season, and then 2022.
Yeah, so I changed my schedule a little bit there with all this. I'm not going to play the next couple of weeks. Probably need it to recover, and then I'm going to play the Wyndham Championship in 3 weeks now. I mean, hopefully then into the playoffs, and then the fall I don't have a clue yet, to be honest, because it's all new to me. I'm not sure what events I'm qualifying for. There's events in Asia I think I qualify for now, but I'm going to play the playoffs, and then for the first time in a long time I'm going to skip. I'm going to probably have a month off just to kind of take it in. I'm going to spend a bit more time at home and kind of go from there.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Of course, earlier in the week I got the word you wanted to go to Thurles tomorrow. You and all the American contingent, and fair play to Brendan Tobin and Richard Tobin and lots of phone calls. You're all going up to Thurles tomorrow. How much does it mean for you to be going to support Waterford tomorrow against Galway?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, I don't get to go to as many matches as I'd like to, but yeah, I can't wait. you know, hopefully they can pull it out. And it's probably, you know, it's a tough time with the COVID for everyone, including those guys. But hopefully, hopefully it'll be a good game. Hopefully they pull it out. Hopefully it's more weather like this too.
Well, Seamus, the fact that you were 10 years waiting for this big one, we've been waiting since 1959. But the message is, don't give up. Isn't that it? That's your message for the hurlers. What's your message for the hurlers for tomorrow?
Oh, never give up. Never give up. Yeah, you know, I mean, they're going to, believe and get them back for last year too.
Yeah, yeah, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, our own Seamus Power. Brilliant, Seamus. Thanks for this.